Cities by Ralph Nazareth. My grandfather's village is now a city. My father's village is nearly a town, and will soon turn into a city. My children's town will no doubt become a city, and when it does it will be assumed into space, and there it will float alongside other villages and towns turned cities, peaceful and detached, turning slowly to the sun, then again slowly to the moon, and our children will take little spacewalks to visit one another, their relatives and forebears, and the darkness will heal behind them, or the leeward light fuse in their shimmering wake, and they'll talk about their own little pockets of weather, and trace their genealogies on these islands in space, and wonder how we could ever have been so hopeless, make the black predictions we were once so used to making. And we will also wonder at ourselves, and, fumbling for an answer, reach backward in time, and the swelling glass of distance will shatter in our hands, and our memory will spill in every direction, and be scattered like dead little suns in a shining blind web. And there won't be much left to chew on, or wad into an egg, an eye, an earth with a familiar pulse, in a sac or a socket, in membranes of water and air, and will turn back to them and ask, "Children, what was it all about?" Or admit, "We have the facts, but have somehow lost the meaning." But look at our cities. They are rooted in rock like stakes driven into the earth, mired among the reeds like tall abandoned vessels. They aren't going anywhere if we can help it. We know it's not over until it's over. Our supreme fear is not yet a fact, not unless our imagination bolts away from its appointed places, forgetting we hold in our hands the tools for the making of memory, the keeping, the sharing, the nursing of memory. And we, the namers of names, will go about naming our world 1,000 times over, so nothing will be forgotten. Stockpiles of names enough to keep us going until the end, when time breaks off like a rotten old branch and falls on a new and wide receiving earth. And everything will stand forth in its grossest of bodies, in the quiver of all its million nuances. And the naming will take ages of days and ages of nights, until we'll have named the very neurons that move our organs of speech, of thought, of memory. Named will be the seat of memory, the power and steering, the gliding and grinding, the shift of memory, the high beams and brakes, the rear-view mirrors of memory, speeding backward and forward, backward and backward and forward and backward, a time shuttle flying up and around with trails of memory that will have no loose ends to come unraveled, chip by lightning chip, dazzling circuits of silver sand, memory of memory set, fired, or frozen into a grand organum which belts out the whole of our presence, our sea days, our tree time, our God roots. And not a thing will be forgotten or allowed to slip our dead grasp, the look of love and the look of hate, the birth of our children, the death of our mothers, the incredible series of misunderstandings, the fear of the night, the peace of the moon, the suns of every morning and the breezes, the view from tops of mountains, parades, expectations, balloons, all things fresh, wonderful and spare, the tree-lined path to the quiet motel, a parting kiss at a street corner, rain, the crow caught on the edge of the ice, sun, voices of children falling like bells on the pavement. and there will be room enough and time to stash away the interminable memories of the friend whose cancer has metastasized, of a friend who cannot sleep, of a friend whose father haunts him with a plea for worldly recognition, of the one who barely survived a crash, and another who visits his daughter in the mental ward but won't be seen by her. Yet another, and another, and another, the bad ones and the good ones, the look on the face of the lottery winner, the positive reply to an urgent letter, the unsuspecting letting up of long-standing pressure, the headache fading gradually, making the body feel new, and new is all of life for the moment. Love that is simply given, all those who have moved beyond keeping count, all those who are blessed with the art of forgiveness. Layer on layer, I can, as you can, heap up these memories and make of this world a story so tall it would be nearly beyond all reasonable belief, though true to the last grain of its every rising inch. And we will not have finished, for there's no way to stop, no place that says, here you must stop. And sometimes we will repeat grief more than anything else. Why is it so hard to recall moments of pleasure? Why does grief take over like a loud neighbor? So we will remember the Indians stopped in mid-leap, hacked in flight, blacks reduced, the Jews forever pursued by God and man, and someone will admonish us to keep asking, whatever happened to the Hittites? And vivid on our screens will flash the dark-skinned people in a Filipino jungle who see a metal bird rip their ancient sky and are in their tracks petrified and keen away their lives looking for a needle to mend their once seamless household firmament. And never forget the words of Lieutenant Anatoly Gevorkian as he orders Private Oleg Sotnik to kill a young Afghan boy with a knife. Now then, Sotnik, here is the knife. Stick it into this young man. They tell me you're afraid of blood. You must get used to killing in cold blood, like I do. Flow on, water down, or add and stiffen memories, intermingling of naked bodies, ashes to be scattered over the ocean, or among the scrub, high in the dry mountains, never letting go, like the outraged voices of the bereaved. There's no hiding on the Pacific for you, Elkin, B.J. Elkin. Come out of there, you bastard! Don't look for help in the Sierras. It's just a matter of time, Elkin. Did you mix them all up? Just 9,000 pots of ashes? What are numbers? Have we forgotten the past? Public baths, communal weddings of the dead? No. But we're going to get you, B.J. Elkin. This is not the same. Can never be. The same memory twice, or body, earth, life, its own thing, and rising so huge, this dump of memory, heart or dome, circumscribing the globe, eyes of memory, catch all ears in walls of memory, this never-ending track, this terrible circle, holding under a spell all welcome tangents of lapses and forgetfulness, relief from memory, this awesome tree, this dubious fruit, these prodigious artichokes of memory, these sky-high corpulent cities of memories. Now to scale them down. How to scale them down? Tough, leaf by leaf, story by dizzy story, filled with memory, down, down to the bare white heart where the light is soft and sweet the blindness, or at least down to a human scale, close enough to the ground to be lost in cities, holding hands without fully knowing why or caring to quite remember, secretly joyful of the countless openings into being now where we have come to stay. Say, we are here to stay, and the cities, these last extensions of ourselves, lost or found, are here to stay. All of them, these dwellings, imprints of our earthly morning, housing signatures of our late-night sojourn, the misty cities in the arms of bays, the clear desert cities, the open, the closed, the booming, pitiless cities, thoracic cities, cities of the heart, shaped by minding matter on rock or at the fork of meeting rivers, cities named inside and out, cities named with thoughts of consolation, spreading on this ancient bed of earth as if asleep under a net of air, warm in memory, breathless, breathing.